Hello and good morning. Welcome. We're here for Moxie Websites. I'm so glad to help you with this and be your guide along the way. I'm Chris Poulos, and so let's get started. First, we have a quick word here. We want to make sure that we all know how to use Zoom, and I'm pretty sure at this point we do. Right? We're probably all Zoom experts by now, and so let's press on. And our first slide, our title slide. Yes. Welcome to Moxie Websites. This is a great time because you're going to find that Moxie websites are easy to build. First, we have a word from our legal department, and as always, I'll give you a few seconds to read this. Look at the text on there, right? They really packed it in. But this basically says, we're here for this training, which is in no way mandatory training. So you can take it or not take it. It's up to you. And the Moxie website, the products that we use and how we demonstrate it are really just best practices for you to take or leave, depending on how you want to do that. And then one final note about kind of COVID-19 and reaching out to people, right? Always be compliant, follow your state and your local laws in regards to COVID, the do not call lists and the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, etc. So with that being said, we do have another disclaimer, and that is when you're using things online and you're gathering assets like pictures, videos, right, sounds, etc. Excuse me. Right, you need those express written permission to use those, and so make sure that you have those. And we know this. The internet is getting very kind of wise on how to track down images and sounds and everything and songs, etc. So whatever you use, make sure that you have permission to use it. And just because you have permission to use a photo on a listing doesn't mean that you have permission to use it on your website. And so just be mindful of that as well. Find out what your laws are in your state regarding that. And sometimes just giving credit to the owner is good enough, and then sometimes it's not. You need to obtain their not only their permission, but right, you need to get their exclusive rights to that either that photo or something, or purchase that. And remember, this is very important because, like we mentioned, right, the proper rights, if you don't have it, can get you in a copyright infringement battle that you probably don't want to be in. So kind of bear that in mind as we move forward. But let's get started here. We want to share a little bit about Moxie. So our agenda is going to be really simple. We're going to welcome you to Moxie, talk a little bit about the business benefits. We want to take a tour of the product, and then we'll talk about next steps for you all. And before we get started, I would love to kind of hear from you here and just kind of find out what has been your experience with Moxie so far. So looks like we have some people in here. Century 21 Elite, welcome. We have Christian with us. Christopher's with us as well, and then Erlinda. So, what has your experience been? C21 Boss here is logged in. So, how has it been? Are you familiar a lot with Moxie? You've at this point, I'm going to guess that you've been on some of their products, and so kind of tell us how it is. You can use your reactions as well. On Zoom, in the bottom button, click reactions, and then you could kind of give me a green check mark for yes, a red X for no. You can give me a speed up, a slow down, but what's been the process so far? How do you feel it's been going? Yeah, very new, so kudos, welcome, and we're gonna walk you through it. But you like it? Yeah, you're gonna really enjoy Moxie as well. We're gonna unpack why, but good stuff here. So thank you for sharing. Let's get started. Your point in this learning journey is, you are right here, and this is right in the middle of Moxie website training. So by the end of today, you're going to have the tools to really kind of go out there and to create your website, and it's going to be real easy to do. And the beauty of it is you can kind of create it. If you don't have any technical acumen, you can do it, or if you're a computer programmer, you can do some really cool things with it. But you're going to be able to do that. And then in addition to that, there's Moxie classes that we have. They're called Moxie Works Hours, and they meet every other week for a total of 8 sessions. And you go through just something really specific on a Moxie product. So I want to encourage you to sign up for those when you get the chance. Excuse me. If you're not familiar with Moxie too much, Moxie started actually as a real estate company, believe it or not. And back in the early to mid 90s, they have the accolades of being the first real estate company to put their listings online. So they were very kind of tech driven way back then before the internet, kind of exploded or became a thing. And then from that they started building these, real estate agent tools. And they realized early on, right, if it's not simple, people will not use it. And the beauty that I find in Moxie products is they're really kind of there's the easy side to it. So if right, like we said, if you don't have that computer degree, you can still figure things out. And then if you do have the computer degree, you can really take it as far as you want to take it, which is awesome. So, and you see here on the screen, right, we have Moxie Engage, and that's that CRM piece that we're familiar with, right, where you reach out to your clients, you connect with them, it's email marketing. You have Moxie Impress, which is kind of more like paper social media marketing, so you're pushing things out via online. There's the Moxie websites where we are today, so we're going to go through building a website for a sales associate. What does that look like? How easy is that? Moxie Talent is, identified. It's usually that's on the admin side, but identify agents, recruit agents, keep agents as well. And then also, right, we have the Moxie Present, which you've seen already, which is just a powerful tool of presentation. And that's kind of their bread and butter. That's how they started with Moxie Present. So a lot of cool things there. And let's kind of dive into the websites. And we want to give you just a little bit of information. And that is, right, we know that the internet is, we don't have to kind of sell you on why you need a website. You know this already, right? Or you should know it. And that is, right, everyone's going online to find stuff. And so, yeah, to be there to compete, yeah, you do need a website. And they've made it really easy to create your own website here. So let's talk a little bit about some of the benefits. And like I said, it's very simple. You can do it. You can go in and you'd say, well, I'm not that great at computers. That's okay. You can do this. And we're going to give you a follow-up thing where if you follow the steps, you're golden. You're good, right? You're Century 21 golden there. And then they're great for lead capture. So Moxie websites really connects, right, with that Moxie Engage, that client management system. So you can kind of work with it. So there's seamless, it flows together. So all of these kind of products are connecting. And these are customizable, so you can kind of go with the very basic template that's available, or you can change that to something else, or you can 100% customize it to exactly what you want it to be. They're also branded, so they're going to have all of the Century 21 branding in there, the fonts, the colors. It's all going to be there waiting for you. And it's a responsive design, meaning that whatever you're on, it's going to fit. So if they're on a computer, a widescreen, right, a tablet, a phablet, right, a cell phone, it's going to look good because it's made to kind of just adjust to what it's on. And then it connects with the MLS, what's very up to date on the information that's there. And then built into it, and the downside, when you talk about kind of building your own website is, well, I can build it, but who's going to come, right? Who's going to find out about it? And so Moxie has built in to their websites Yoast SEO, that search engine optimization from Yoast. So it plugs in and really tries to optimize every single page in the entire site so we can all be better there. So a lot of great reasons to use it, but you already know it. I don't need to kind of sell you on these because you're probably already there. And just some important reminders, and that is that in order, for you to kind of be successful in Moxie Works, there's several things that you need to kind of do in Dash. And this, your business email has to be there, be updated. The agent MLS, and the MLS ID and MLS name, or MLS IDs, if you belong to multiple MLSs, right, need to be added in there to Dash. So if they're not, it just won't make that connection. And then also, in regards to right, licensing boards, and some states may require sales associates license information to be on stuff. And so that's also a section in Dash. And if you're not familiar with Dash, that's probably a good thing. Right, your office did well, but Dash, kind of think of it as a centralized database where they keep information about you. So you don't have to kind of put it in every single place. It kind of pulls it from Dash and then pushes it to 21 Online and Century 21 University and all of the other products that are available to you through Century 21. So you don't have to kind of, kind of go in here and have 10,000 logins. You have one login, and it takes all of that information and shares it seamlessly for you. And then finally, we want to just let you know that at all non-sales positions in Dash will have employee permissions for Moxie, and this can be edited in the security tab. So in Dash, if you're familiar with it, for those of you who are, this will make sense. If not, you don't have to worry about it. But right in the security tab under a person's name, right, you're going to need either the broker admin or office manager roles in Dash, so you can make changes right to someone's record or adjust that in Dash. So wanted to let you know, but I think we're good to go. We're golden here. We're ready. So before we get into our demo, our first question is this: when will you get access to Moxie? And some of you have access now, some of you are just getting access, right? And so it's been communicated to you in your office. And so kind of track down those communications, look for those emails for the dates on when it is. That's important to kind of know when it'll happen. But as soon as you do, right, you'll have this there. And some of these will kind of appear as they come. So you may see, right, Moxie Present will appear usually first, and then you'll see, right, Engage, and then you'll get websites, and you'll kind of see them going there. So that'll unravel and unfold as time goes based on those dates that were communicated to your office. So check with your broker on that if you need more information. Now let's take a tour so we can see Moxie in action. And what I want to do is I'm going to still use the slides because we're going to talk about setting up your website. We're going to talk about applying security. We're going to talk about activating website visibility. And to kind of do that, you're going to do some of this once and then you're done. But it's the steps that lead up to customizing the website. And so I want to show you these because you can only do them once, and then once you're done, you're good to go. So the first is this: how do you get access to the Moxie websites? And I can shift gears here to show you this, so we can toggle back and forth. So I'm in Moxie now. I'm logged in a test account. So, and there's two ways to get to the website. The first is right on top here, my website, and the second would be if I hit this drop down arrow up there, and then I were to scroll down, so you can see it here, right? And I hit that scroll and scroll down. Let me see if I can do it with a pointer. No. So if I scroll down, and then there's an option there for websites as well. So we have those two options. And when I click on that, it's going to start to just kind of get my website up and running, and it's going to take me through the kind of first process to get it moving, to move it forward. And so what does that look like? Well, when I click on that, right, it gives me this pop-up, and it says, okay, right, you need to create your website. So I click on that button. And then when I click on it, right, I have an option here to name the website. And I can name it anything. It could be my name, right? And this is going to be kind of a name that's going to be associated with Century 21. So they're going to use that to kind of create your personal website. But you have to check first to see, is that name available? And so what you do is you type that in there and then hit that check button, and it's going to say it's available or not available. In this case, right, they searched East Coast Homes, right, and it was good, so they took that name, and that's good for them, right, so they can use that. But that's what you'll do, and then you'll click Go to Site. And these are very kind of progressive, so if you don't know what to do, just kind of follow the next button, if you will. And then here they have the terms of service, and here's where you're gonna, you can read through that, give it to your lawyer, but it's basically saying, hey, we're creating a website, you're gonna accept to use it, you're gonna take responsibility if you put something on there that you didn't have rights to do, that's on you, and then et cetera, and a lot of other legal stuff. And so you'd say, yep, and then you'd click continue after you check the box, and then it says, okay, we're ready to create that site now. Let's access your website. And when you click on that, it brings you here to the Agent Website Admin tool. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to pop that in the chat. Feel free to shout out, and kind of let me know. But it has this Agent Website Admin tool that it brings to. And we're going to talk about this in a little bit, but I want to just kind of fast forward here because there's a section here I want to get to, and this is this activating your website. These are things that you're kind of going to do along the way to get your website up and running. So I'll describe the site and what it looks like in just a bit. But when you activate your website, right, there's just a couple things you want to do. And you can see here, one is to apply an SSL certificate to it. And this is important because search engines, right, they kind of upgrade sites that are secure, HTTPS, right, instead of HTTP in the front of it. And that means it's a secure site that's been certified, it's been checked out. And so you're going to want to do that. And to do that, you're going to click on that link, and then you're going to get that option. And this is a two-step process here. So this step is really important because if you don't complete it, the search engines will not favor your website. They will downgrade it in the rankings. And so make sure that you do this. And so to start the process, you're going to click on that request the SSL certificate. And then it takes a couple days for this request to get approved. So it goes to some kind of, official board, goes through Moxie to this place, right, on whoever manages it on the internet, and they say, okay, this is good. Yep. We sign off on it. And so what you do is after you click that request a SSL certificate button, put a 2-day timer. So 2 days after that, you're going to kind of put a note in your calendar to go back into your website and apply that certificate, if you will. And it'll say, go ahead, right, and apply that certificate. And you're going to click on that, and then it's applied. So that's really simple. That's all you have to do. And another thing we wanted to show you is activating your website visibility is you can click here on the bottom here. It says make your website visible to search engines. And when we click on that, you're going to notice that by default, that is not turned on. And it says it's discouraging search engines from indexing or kind of looking at your site and going through it. And the reason is because you're just creating your site, and so you may want to change things around. And sometimes search engines think that's odd to do so. So they're looking really more or less for a done site, a site that's kind of completed already. In their eyes, that kind of bodes better than one that's in process. And so it's best to save this for the last, or one of the last things that you do, to go in here to uncheck that box and then click Save Changes. So we're doing things to get the website up and running. The SSL certificate, right? Visibility from the search engines, right? When it's completed, we'll go and we'll do that. And then another thing here is to set up a vanity domain. And you may already have one here, right? And so you're going to click on that. And of course, you're going to want to add, additional features to that. Fortunately, when you have that personalized website, it's really easy to do. But when you go in and set up this, right, vanity domain, you can really kind of work through that, and it'll walk you through those steps or that process there, so you can do so. But we're going to go right in. So we wanted to kind of go through that piece before we went in here. So I'm going to go right to it. And then when we click on website, it brings us right to this page here, right? We have this website builder page that we're going to go through. And we kind of skipped over this earlier, but now we're actually in Moxie. And then before we kind of press on, I want to let you know that you do have help here. So there's the Moxie help is just a chat away. And click on it. It's a chat bot when you start, right? And I could type in, right, how do I ... and it'll try to figure that out. How do you what, right? And if I don't like the answer, right, I can really connect with someone, right? I can say get in touch, and I could chat. I can go to a live chat with someone there and start that up. So you have those two options, the chat bot and the chat person, but great place to start. So this is our agent website admin tool, and I want to kind of point out some features here. And one is this. You're going to see up in the very top left, visit site. So if I click on that, what's it going to do? It's going to open up another window, and it's going to bring me to my website. So I have them both here toggled side by side. Do you see it? The admin builder and then the website itself. And so by default, it gives me this kind of canned website that I can use or a tweak. And we're going to talk about editing that, but I want to let you know, best practice when you're doing this is to have both of these open. And so when you make changes on your website, what kind of changes do you want to make? Well, you want to make them slowly. You want to make them one at a time and see how it looks. And we'll show you what that means in a little bit. But if you make a lot of changes to your website and then you publish it and you don't like it, there's a lot of unchanges that you have to make, and that's kind of harder to do. So we recommend kind of make one change at a time, and then when you like it, you can go to publish or edit, etc. And there's a lot of different buttons there: publish, save, finish, whatever that button says. It has about 4 different names, but once you kind of save it, finish it, publish it, etc., right? Look and see how it does. Do you like that look or format or that change that you made? If so, keep it. If not, you can immediately go back and undo it, and that'll be helpful for you. So, and then we have here some kind of different views. We can go to our website here. We have this left-hand navigation on editing the website, but Moxie has made it easy because down here they have common tasks. So they realize, right, if it's not easy, sales agents will not use it. And so they've made these real simple tasks for you to do to edit your website. And so we're going to access the common tasks, but they're actually just the same as the options here. It's just kind of spelled out a little easier for us here. And then we spoke about the SSL certificate. We spoke about, right, making you visible for the searches. That's down here. And then setting up that vanity domain. And when I click on that vanity domain, right, we know what that is. That's, that would be myname.com or something to that effect, right? Or Linda sells, that town or this county.com. However you want to, right, put it in there, right? Christiancomedian.com. So you got your vanity domain, but it's a process here because you have to kind of submit that domain, and right, and so if you're gonna add a domain from scratch, and so you can kind of go in here and kind of put that in and just kind of follow these steps. I'm going to give you a handout that'll walk you through this, but this is a couple steps. So you kind of go with that domain, and then Moxie works with a domain owner to make sure that everything's working. So they'll walk you through that just to make sure that that is up and running. But with that being said, I'm going to click back on home, and home is going to bring me back to that agent website admin tool where we're going to make some changes. So any questions so far? Can we move forward? Let us know. Give us in the chat a green check mark, red X. Click on reactions there. That's the easiest thing to do. Looking good. I'll take that as a yes, or type in the chat and say we're fine. Yeah, there we go. Good, thumbs up. I'll take that as a we're moving forward. So the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to go to this personalize the website, and I should kind of zoom in on this, right? Because sometimes this is small. So I'm going to zoom in here. Personalize your website style. So when I click on that, it's going to give me this view of the styles that are available, right? And there's a default that I can select here if I wanted to, or there's a search focus style, and that's the style that we're on now. So let's look at that style. I've kind of zoomed in a bit. Let me zoom out to kind of look at that. And so this is that search view style. So I have here, right, there's a thin header bar, which is hard to see, right? There's the site navigation right up there. This is my catchphrase. Hey, you can change your real estate catchphrase if you want, and maybe put in the chat what's a neat real estate catchphrase, right? What's a real estate kind of tagline, right? Everything I touch turns to sold, right? Or my results will move you. However, you can put a cool catchphrase there, but you can change that instead of find your dream home, right? It could be anything that you put there, which is nice. And then you have this very kind of, we'll just say like a Google simplified search, right? You have a search here that you can go in. The sales associate, so it'll be your picture will be here, your contact information. And I want to point out this, we're on the search page. So watch here, we got the search, but when I scroll down, so we can't see the search anymore, watch what happens. Boop, right, we got that search pops up over here. right? So we can kind of add that here if we wanted to. And then we have here, and then there's this blank space here. You probably notice it, but see all this white space? This is where you can kind of put information about you, your bio. You can add some information there if you wanted to, right? That is the space there where you can kind of tweak some more stuff about you, right? And they call that, right, just a place there for that, so you can kind of put some notes, anything you want to put there. You can add a picture, etc. So as we move on, we're scrolling down and we have featured properties, and you could tweak these properties on what you want. They could be your listings, they could be your office's listings, they could be your company's listings, or other options here. And then down here we have a widget. We can add some searches to this. And then down here in the footer, and they've chosen kind of the beefy footer, right? It's big. It has a call out to neighborhood news that people can subscribe to, right? It has the equal housing opportunity symbol, realtor symbol, etc. Kind of very basic, right? But that's how it is. So that's how it's set up. And here's the site navigation. So that is the search based, or the search focused template that you have here, or the layout. But we can switch this. So let's click on the agent focused one. And then what do I have to do to see it? Well, I got to click publish. And so I'm going to click publish there. And then you're going to get this confirmation message, right? Your theme has been updated. So when I go here, do I see the new theme? No. Why? Because I didn't refresh the screen, right? So I'm going to click the refresh button, or it's F5, I think, on a lot of computers, or if you're on a Mac, it's something else, but you'd probably know that. And so when I click that, I got a totally different view. This is the agent focus, and so it's really focused, right, on me as an agent. And so watch when I scroll here, you know, boom, there I stay, and a little different there. So you can do that there. So you have both of those, or you can do something totally custom. You know, if you wanted to, you could click on that, and that's, you know, you could start from scratch. Custom is a blank canvas, and you could put anything there. I'm going to change this back to search focus like it was, just to make it easier for the next trainer that goes into this account, so they're not confused on why it's not there, right? And I'm going to go back to home. And so that's one of the ways you can personalize your site with the style. The next thing we want to do is personalize the home page, right? And so I'm going to click here, personalize your home page, go there. And they've made this very simple for me to kind of go through and edit this. And the first thing that you're going to see here with the home page is I can change the name. If I don't like that word home for home page, I could change it to something else, but it kind of fits quite well. And then I can change the background image, right? And I could put anything in here. Now there's a recommendation on the size, right? 1200 by 1182. So make sure that, you know, what you're using is that, or crop it, or put it in that aspect ratio and then make it bigger, however you want to do it. So I can change this image, and let's just say, you know what, I could find something for my computer, but what do I have to do? I have to confirm that either I own this image or I have the copyright to it, because that's right, I don't want to get stuck there. So, right, I gotta sign off on that before I'm even allowed to update something. And then I can go to the image gallery here, and the beauty is that Moxie has some templated images, right, that they own that you can use for free. That's right. And so you can go through this, and right, some you'd say, well, man, that's not my market. I don't live on a vineyard or right on a coastal city. But then right, there's interiors, exteriors, there's a lot of different ones, and you could change these based on the season, as you can see. But maybe you're going to find that one that you'd say, man, I like that one. And you know, how about this one here? This is a nice one here. So let's click on that. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click here, select for custom area, right? So it puts that photo there. And then I have an option here. It says text color. Do I want it white or black? And that's important because, right, how's it going to look with the background image? And look at this image here. Is it kind of darker or lighter? And it kind of has a darkness to it, which is nice. So I think maybe white will work better on it. And then I have an option here for a background effect where I can either darken or lighten the image. So if I feel like the text just isn't popping, I can kind of steer that image either lighter or darker in a way. And so maybe I'll do that. I'm going to click darken. So it'll make it even darker. And so we're making some changes here, right? So let me click publish just to see how it looks. I'm going to go back to my website. Why? Because that's the best thing to do. Now, did I get the verification? It's been updated? Yes, it has. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click refresh. Remember, I've changed this back to the search view, and I changed it back. And ooh, yeah, look at it. It's kind of dark, but maybe that works for me if I like it, right? Or it might not work for you. Maybe you want something a lot brighter, right, and more fun. Hey, change it back, right? The sky's the limit for you here. And so you could do that. Or maybe like I'm going to say, you know what, it's just too dark. Let me lighten it. How is that going to affect it here? So let me go down here. I'm going to click publish or save or complete, whatever it is. And then when that updates, let's kind of see what the real difference is here. So you see how it is dark. Let's see what it looks like a little lighter. Oh, and it got a little lighter cast. And hey, you know what? That still works. I like that. So maybe I'll keep that one. But I'm just kind of going through here making these changes. So well, let's keep it with that. We'll go down here. Remember this tagline, find your dream home? I could change this to anything I want, right? And did you get a cool tagline? I didn't see any in the chat here. But what's your real estate tagline? If you don't have any, get one, right? They're always fun to have. And you could Google real estate taglines or catchphrases, right? And you can put it in here. But I like that one. My results will move you. Boom! And there we changed it. And then we have here the name, right? And this is kind of a test account. It's C21 Trainer. And then this title here, and this title could be anything. And some people, I've noticed some agents, when you kind of scroll, they put here, search. You can kind of put search on the right, or maybe you're going to write on here, right? Realtor, right? You can adjust your image there. And it's important to note that this information here, initially it's going to pull from Dash, but it just does one pull and it's done. So you can change this information. It will not be overwritten in Dash. So it's going to pull it from Dash just that one time, but after that you can tweak it. So you can change any of this stuff if you wanted to. That's totally fine. Dash will not overwrite it, right? And so you can edit that there. So we're making some changes. I'm going to leave this as it is. We're going to scroll down a little bit because we have this area here for the welcome text. And remember the welcome text? That goes over here in this position, right? This blank area here. And so maybe you're going to want to put just a kind of quick note about yourself, right? Something like that. Or maybe you're going to want to bring in an image or something. And you really, the sky's the limit here on what you want to do. And so think about that. You can do that there by just bringing it in, right? I'm just going to write something real quick in here. Something just real kind of simple. There we go. Just kind of a short and sweet message. And then right when I click publish, and I'll wait for that. And then I'm going to click update. And there we go, right? I could kind of put a little sweet message there. All right, and you could change that. You could format that if you wanted to, as you see there. But you see how easy that works there. So there's some options here, right? You can put, this is a what you see is what you get editor, so you can change that text. You can put a quote there. This could be a testimonial. Isn't that awesome, right? And so maybe we'll put, right, the best realtor I've ever worked with. And we move a lot, right? See what I'm doing here? Just kind of keeping it sweet, making some changes there. And then I could take this, right? And I can bold it, right? I could change that text. I can go in there, tweak it around. Let's see the options here, right? I could put in, if I wanted to, what can I put in here? A table. I could put in media, which is either a video, a song, a picture, etc. There's a lot I can do here. Oh, even source code, which is cool, right? Now I can add in something here if I had some source code, right? I could put in, maybe drop in a widget or something. Ooh, great question. Is there a location to put in client reviews? And the answer to that is no, there's not a page for that now. But there are steps, like they do walk you through on how to do that. And you can import some through a service that they have here. So this is a WordPress based site. And so it works off of Beaver Builder. So let me gonna just type in here Beaver Builder. So here we go. And I'll put this in the chat as well. And so there's a lot of options on what you can do. So, but yeah, you can create an own review page if you wanted to. You can hard code those, or there's a service that Moxie works with, and I forget the name of it, where you can kind of connect the stream on some places and have them come in. And I know Century 21 is working, to kind of work that with some of the reviews that they already get to kind of bring those in, but that isn't there yet. Another cool thing you can do, since we're talking about Beaver Builder, is, we talked about, well, what can you do really with the website here? And if you wanted a background, this is phenomenal. I love this, but you can add a video background to your site. So instead of that picture, imagine if you had a video, and this kind of walks you through it. Now you can see it's not for the beginner, but you can have it like a drone. Let's say you had some drone footage of a nice neighborhood in your market, and it's kind of just going around, just kind of looking through homes, going through neighborhoods, and it's just really that slow-mo drone action, right? That could be your background, and that's cool. Like that's not a lot of agents have a site like that. So great question there. Thank you for asking that. We're going to scroll down a bit. We're going to get to our next phase here, right? And what's that? Featured property. So we said, hey, you can adjust this. So this could be my company's active listings. They could be solds. They could be your offices. You can kind of choose properties if you wanted to. They could be your solds, your actives, and how you want to do that. So you can kind of go through here and create, right, a featured property. Ooh, let me click cancel there. I think I made some changes, so I want to kind of make sure that I undo some of these for the next person. Right, but we have that here, and so you can kind of create that featured properties list. So let me show you what that looks like. And so for here, we'll leave it, and there's some that are already here, right? So you've got your actives, or right, you can kind of add a new list here and then figure out what that is. So when I click on add a new list for featured properties, right, then I have a lot more searches that I can go from. I could pull specific properties, right, to create a list, to hard code that on my site if I wanted to, right? I could hide properties. So it gets a little bit more extensive in what I could do there. I'm going to click the back button. I'll click back again because I want to get back to that place where we were editing that home page, but that's another opportunity. Now we're going to go down this list. So we spoke about featured properties. Another thing you can do and add to your site, and this is a cool feature, is a custom search. So you might have clients that just kind of, maybe they're searching like in your market, maybe there's a really hot price band. Everyone wants to, they're searching for it, people want to live in it, right? And maybe it's the $200,000 to $300,000 price band is hot. You can create a search for that price band and then put that on your homepage and show homes in that price band. Or maybe you want to search for townhouses, or maybe condos, and throw that on your homepage, or something else. And really, the sky's the limit here. So how do we create a custom search that you can put on your page? And you can see here, right? There's an option here, create a custom search, right? And then there's this widget here to hide it or not hide it. But if I click on create a custom search, it's going to leave this page. It's going to open up a new page, but it doesn't give me a lot of information on it. I really have to kind of know what that search is, excuse me, and then I got to go in and create it. So let's do that. So I'm going to go to the website. So I'm going to go over here, and I just need to create a search. And so right here, this account, it's tied to Boston, Massachusetts. So I'm going to click search there. I got a property that's already there. So it pulls this property up. It pulls this location. But I can kind of do a search here. So I'm in a place here, and pretend that if this is your market, right? Right, you think about it, right? What are you going to search for? What are you looking for? Maybe I'm going to pull out a bit, and let me go here because, right, the sky's the limit. And so I want to go to filters, and maybe I want to reset the filters because I don't know what someone's been looking for here. I don't know what they saved. And so I've reset that so it's kind of just open. It's going to show me everything. And that's what I want when I go in here. I'm going to scroll out, and maybe I'm going to just I'm going to focus on an area here. And so maybe I'll do a search, but let me go to filters again, and I'm going to look here, and I'm going to say, yep, show me what is active. Do I want what's sold? No. Do I want all the listings? Maybe not. But look at this, open houses, in-person open houses this weekend. So I can create a search for all of the open houses this weekend. And then if I wanted to, I can even kind of define that search to a specific area. So I can either draw that search, right, with a quick draw, or that multi-draw would be kind of connect the dots, or I can do a radius draw, which is just like a circle, right? So let me exit, and then let me go back here, and I could do the quick draw, right? And that looks something like this. Whoop. And then it'll say, okay, here's all the open houses this weekend in this area, and you can see them there. And now here's that search, and so I can go up here. I could save this. So I want to copy this link. So I clicked on it. I'm going to go to copy, right click, copy. I go back here. I paste the link in here, and then there's a message here. It says the path must begin with search. So I want to go to the top here. I'm going to find that word search, which is right here. If you see that, and I'll zoom in, right, so you can see that a little better. So everything before search I want to take out. Boop. There it is. I took it out, and I'm going to put open houses this weekend. I'm going to zoom out here, and I'm going to save this search. And now I have a dynamic search that is going to update, right, every week for all those open houses. Ooh, great question. Yeah, it's going to show you whatever is in the MLS, not just your company stuff, everything in the MLS. So you can search for that, and you can slice it and dice it. So, and you can add multiple searches here. Hey, here's open houses. Here's the condos, if that's hot in your market. Or maybe, right, someone is known as the condo king or the condo queen. And so, yeah, right, they're the ones that sell it. But now I got to save search. It's open houses this weekend. I'm going to click save. Good. And so I'm going to go back. So I'll just hit the back button a couple times. And so I'm back here with my custom search. And if I hit this drop down, right, and usually it takes a while for that search to kind of to save in here. Right, so let me see if I can refresh this. Open houses this weekend, right? The number of properties to display, right? Hide this widget. So let me see if this will take. Now I'm going to click publish. We'll go to my site here. I'm going to go to the home page here. we scroll down, well, there's our featured property, right? Here's our custom search. And what is it, right? It's those open houses that we have set up here. See more listings from open houses this weekend. So sweet, right? And I could add a bunch of custom searches, right, if I wanted to, which is great to see there. So really neat feature that you can do. You can really hone in on the properties like a lot of your clients are looking for, just to make it simple for them as a carousel, right? And they can kind of scroll through those and kind of look to see what's available. So cool feature. I'm going to go back here. I made some changes, and like I said, this is a test account, and I don't want to make it awkward for the next person coming in here. So let me take this out. For custom search, I'm just going to hide that for now. And then there's the blog, so you can connect a blog if you wanted to, which is great. And I'm going to give you some information on how to do that. There's other links. And then down here, you can add in a feature video. So this could be a video of you or anything else that you have there. And then there's also the you can see the mortgage rate settings widget that's already turned on here, which is good. So when we go to the site, and let me see if I can just kind of publish this with some of the changes that I've made. So when we go to the site, let me just click on that. There we go. So it took out some of the changes that I've made just to make sure it's back. Right, it gives us that widget rate to see where that's at. And you can edit that. There's, this is code. So you can, if you have another widget from your bank, you can add that there, from the person that you work with. Or tweak it if you wanted to. Or just keep it simple. But that's how we're going to edit it there. You can add a video in that place. Right, so you can have a video to the left and the mortgage rate widget to the right if you wanted to. However you want to set this up. So there's a lot of opportunities, but you can see how easy it is, right? They really simplified this process here to kind of get it set up and back there. So I'm going to click on home because I want to go back here. There's one thing I want to show you, and that is this. When we were updating the appearance of it, and remember that was the type of layout, we didn't talk about the header or the footer. So I'm going to click on header, and you could kind of change how that header looks. So by default it's a thin header, right? The logo's on the left side, the navigation's in the center and the right, but you can change that as well. And then there's a footer as well that you can change. And remember, by default the footer here was set to a custom footer. I may change it to a default footer, or maybe I'm going to reset the custom footer, right, to be something very specific. And you could add information, you can tweak it as you go. So I wanted to point those out there. Remember, everything that we're doing on the right side here in this area, you can do on the left. So you can kind of look at that. You can look at the builder, some of the tools, how that SEO is set up. This is a WordPress site, so it uses that template there. The navigation menu, all right, menu links, right? We were talking about adding things. So I'm going to click on organize the site's navigation menu, and maybe I wanted to tweak that. So you have your the home page, which we worked on, right? But you got that property page, and by default you can choose what that looks like for your buyers or your sellers. About you, the blog, if you wanted to. You can add new pages here, right? We talked about the referrals, the ratings, the reviews, right? We can add that in and get that all set here. So a lot of great things that you can do here. So good stuff. And that really kind of wraps up kind of building the website. We wanted to show you kind of just how easy it is, at least from the homepage point of view, how you can do that. So a lot of great things there. You can bring in video. And that's a great recommendation, because if you have a video on your site of you and people go there, especially if they don't know you, they're just kind of looking up online, and maybe they click and they're clicking around one property to the next, and they click on your video. The video is a great way to kind of get that instant rapport and credibility. So I want to encourage you all to kind of at least create a simple video that maybe just introduces yourself, how how long you've been in the business, your passion for the business, how you love your clients, short and sweet. We're talking maybe a minute or less, But yeah, that is powerful to do when you have it, and you can add multiple videos if you want. Maybe it's you on the on the site. You know, you're doing a walkthrough of a property and what that looks like, and you're kind of you're kind of calling out what you do when you do a walkthrough and how you do it and why you do it and what's important, and you kind of emphasize that information. So there's a ton of stuff that you can do there to kind of build that website. So we're going to press on now, and we wanted to just call out that there's a couple things that you can to do to kind of move forward. And we know one is help, right? So we spoke about help already, that you can get help, and one of the easiest ways to do that is through the chat. So there's a couple options through the chat there. And then what's next for you here? So there's a checklist I'm going to share with you where you can get immediate help for that, and I'll email that out to you so you have that. So I have an admin email address, so I'll send that there. Or if you put your email address in the chat, I'll make sure that you get copied on that as well. I'll email out the recording. There's also self-paced learning that we have through C21 University, so you could take advantage of that by going there. If you go to C21 University, right, you're going to go to the search and look for that items there. And so let me kind of show you what that looks like. Right, you can click on MoxieWorks from the left-hand navigation, but I like to go right up here to the top. There's an option here for learning library search, and then if you type in here, type in Moxie Present. So let me show you what that looks like. Learning library search, that link right there. Type in not Moxie, but Moxie, or not Moxie websites, and then that'll give you the Moxie website where you can click on that and you can download a lot of items there, a lot of extra things. There's a self-paced module that you can take as well. We mentioned the Getting Started guide. I'll send that out to you so you have a copy of that, so you can work with that as well and move forward. And that's going to walk you through everything that we went through today and then some. So it'll have extra things, but there's links there that'll walk you through step by step so you can create your own website. And then, how do we get to Moxie websites? Yes, right, through MoxieWorks. So we're going to go to 21 Online. We're going to click on the menu in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to scroll down to the Productivity Hub, and then we're going to click on MoxieWorks, and that'll bring us there. And we get to websites by clicking on websites, either in the top link in Moxie, or if we click on our picture on the right and go down, and then click on websites from there. So we covered a lot in a short amount of time, and would love to see it if you have any questions. So how can I help you? I know we asked a lot in just a little bit, and I'm going to put a link in the chat too. There we go. Oops, I said that directly. There we go. Everyone, there we go. So you have that link there if you click on that. And this is a survey, so we want to know, apart from the questions, how did we do? Did you enjoy it? Did you find this easy to work with? If it kind of encouraged you, if we spelled it out well, if the timing was good for this session, we would love to hear about it. And so feel free to kind of share your feedback there. If you feel like I did a great job walking you through the product, let me know. I would love to hear that. Does it need to be longer? Does it need to be shorter? Yeah, I have to play with it. Yeah, you're going to find that it's really easy to use. Remember, when you're in the site, like I said, the best advice is make a change, save it, see how it looks. And quickly and easily, you're going to find that the template is already there. So if you just kind of change a couple things, it's already there. It's done already. So good stuff there. But yeah, would love your feedback there. Click on that link. And any final questions before we go? And let me see here. I think the ones we've already answered in the chat. So if not, it was my pleasure to try and help you today. And I wish you all the best as you're creating your sites and getting them off the ground. And if you need any help, don't hesitate. We shared with you the Moxie help there, which is the live chat or the chat bot. In addition to that, they do have the Moxie website or the Help Center, which you can get to from the gear icon if you're on the Moxie homepage. So I wanted to wish you all the best there. Make it a great day. And remember, if you're taking the survey, it's a virtual class. We are in Moxie Websites Agent, and I'm Chris Poulos. So thank you today, and you all take care. Make it a great one.